So for this problem, you have to identify, for each equation, you have to identify the parent function and then the transformation that happened. To identify the parent function, you have to look and see where the x is and then see what's going on around it. Like I see the x's in the exponent for y equals 3 to the x plus 5. I know that's an exponential function. So you need a base and the x. So my parent function is y equals 3 to the x. Then to see what the transformations are, you look to see what numbers you have left. So I have a plus 5. It's not in the exponent with the x, so that means it's changing the y value. So it means we're going up 5 spaces. Now for y equals log base 4 of the quantity x plus 3, we have to have a base and then the x. So our parent function is y equals log base 4 of x. Now in this case, the plus 3 is inside the parentheses with the x. So that means you're changing the x value so it becomes a left or right thing. And x is the naughty letter, so we're not adding 3, we are subtracting. So we're moving left 3 spaces. When you're doing transformations and describing, you have to describe the direction, up, down, left, right, and then the number. Okay. I see the x's in the exponent. Now, the 4 is not part of the parent. This is the base, 5. Y equals 5 to the x is our parent function. So there's a lot of other numbers going on down here. Let's start in the parentheses, our little order of operations. The -2, there's actually 2 pieces to this. So when you negate the x value, you reflect over the y-axis. And remember, if you need to draw a little picture, you negate the x, goes to the other side, reflection over the y-axis. Now the 2, you're changing the x value. Remember, x is the naughty one, so you're not stretching the x by a factor of 2 because it's opposite. You're compressing. Compress. And I forgot to write horizontal. And you could write by a factor of 2. You could write up to. And then the last thing here, we have a 4 in the front, and it's outside of the parentheses. It's in front of the rest of the function, so that means it's changing the y. And since we're multiplying by 4, it's a vertical stretch of 4. So I'm going to clear this out because I've run into the last one. So if you need to check something, now's the time to check it because in 1 second it's going to be gone. Alrighty, last one. Y equals negative ln x minus 4. So our parent function here is ln x. Y equals ln, or log base e of x. So we've got 2 things that changed. We have a negative in the front and then a minus 4 at the end. So if you're, let's start with the first one. If we are negating the y value, draw my little picture, that means you're reflecting that point over the x-axis. So I'm going to write reflect over x-axis. And then the last thing, a minus 4 at the end. It's not in parentheses with the x. It's just hanging out at the end of our right side of our equation. So we're just moving down 4. We're subtracting 4 from the y value.